is only the third day of 2025, and last night my phone was being absolutely blown up with notifications. And when I went to check what it was, I actually couldn't even believe my eyes for a minute, because we have never seen animatronics from Lowes or any other big company come this early. But not only just about that, because we can only see like a third of the animatronics and some names, but I can already conclude that this blows last year way out of the park. So without further ado, let's go check them all out. First up, we have the Full Moon Mayhem Werewolf, and now that is a mouthful. And this guy, it's a very interesting werewolf. It seems like they really decided to just do a lot of fur. He just has pants on, like no other clothing, and it doesn't even have like a chest, which is kind of weird. Just a whole bunch of fur there. So I'm not sure if I love that, but I do kind of like the stance that he's in. And apparently he's going to whip back his arms and howl at the moon. Now I'm not sure if that's the exact same animation as the one from Big Lots. Rest in peace, Big Lots, by the way. And I'm not sure if it's going to be like that, but it might be. But I'm not. I don't think so. I think this might be a Jenny animatronic. But there's no way to really tell for sure as of right now. But anyway, it looks pretty cool. Not sure if I love the face, not sure I love how generic it is, but I'll have to see the demo before I say anything else. Next up, we have this Plague Doctor, 5'5" Plague Doctor, and yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna get a Plague Doctor as good as the one from Home Depot in a long time. This one is... It's not the best, to be honest. No, it does not look that great. The head is like way too big. It looks a little bit goofy. The stance of it does look kind of realistic, like the dress and the arms. Those must be like blow molds or something. And the hands look pretty good too. A little bit too small compared to the head. But yeah, it doesn't like have the right body proportions. So yeah, this is probably a Jenny one, almost certainly. Now, the next one we have the 10-foot spider, and if this is actually I don't know if it's 10 feet tall or if it's like 10 feet long, but I think it might be 10 feet tall, which is just absolutely humongous for a spider. Like, we've had 10-foot wide ones, we've had 5-foot tall ones, but never have we seen a 10-foot tall spider, so this is pretty insane. Other than that, it doesn't look that good, to be honest. I don't really think I love how like all of the facial features are just glowing and the rest of it is just like black. I like the Home Depot ones that actually had the fur on them. I think those looked really cool. This one might be a little bit weird. This one is probably made by either SVI or Techie. But yeah, it looks pretty cool nonetheless though. Next we have the Corpse Bride, and I cannot believe that this is actually an animatronic. This has to be just a PNG image of the Emily from the Corpse Bride here. If not, it looks perfect, but I cannot believe that. It looks digitally enhanced here at least. But yeah, another Corpse Bride animatronic for this year. We had two from Spirit Halloween last year. Now, you'll see a pattern with Lowes trying to one-up Spirit Halloween this year, I think. So, because we got Emily, and then we also got Victor over here as well. So, yeah, Emily looks better than the one from Spirit Halloween. Victor, it might. I'm not quite sure. I've never actually watched The Corpse Bride, so I'm not 100% sure about that. Next, we have the Balloon Clown. Now, this one also looks yummy. It reminds me of the, what's that one? Teddy Bear Clown from like a couple years ago from Lowes. This one, I think, looks quite a bit better than the Teddy Bear Clown. The balloon animal does have teeth, which is just kind of weird. But I do like the look of the face here. I'm pretty sure this is Jemmy like the Teddy Bear Clown. But this one, if it is Jemmy, it does look pretty cool. Now, here we go. Here's one of my favorites for this year, the 6-foot Gravedigger. And just look at that face. That actually looks super realistic. This might be the best Gravedigger we've gotten. The stance looks amazing. And the face just looks really creepy. I love how they just had the white eyes and not bother to put pupils in there. Pupils usually make it look a little bit more goofy, and you can usually mess that up a bit more. But this just looks amazing. This looks like such a ghostly Gravedigger. and it looks really cool. Next we have the 12-foot vampire. We'll just never get any of these 12-foot props, will we? I'm not complaining because this one does look pretty cool. I think it has a flame effect on the bottom as well, so it's kind of like a burning vampire. So that's pretty cool as well. It does kind of look like I don't know what's trying to be, either Dracula or Nosferatu, but I'm pretty sure it's trying to be looking like Dracula. And it's got a lamp as well. Very, very similar to, well, it just gives off the same vibe, same sort of stance as the 12-foot grave digger or bone collector from last year from Lowes as well. This one, I don't think this one's going to be as good. It definitely can't have a moving mouth. Just if you look at it, it's not going to have a moving mouth because there's no seam there. But the lantern does look cool. I just don't get the concept of a 12-foot vampire. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to love this one. Next we have this 10-foot Scarecrow. And geez, does this thing look quite a bit goofy. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Jemmy. It might be techie, but if it is techie, this is not one of their best props. I know they can do better than this. But yeah, it's not that good at all. It reminds me of that one from like Morris Costumes last year, except it looks even worse. This is probably going to be static. If it's not static, it's just probably moving mouth or moving head side to side. So this thing, just looking from the image, it can't be that good. Next we have the animated DJ player, continuing the trend of these band skeletons / reapers, and I absolutely love this. I wish Lowes was in Canada because these guys are so cool. I would love to have like a band going on next door or something. That'd be really, really fun. But yeah, this guy looks really awesome. He has got this entire DJ stand, and I love the coat as well. This one's going to be expensive. I can tell you that already, just because, you know, that's a lot right there with having the entire DJ stand and stuff and all that. But this guy, I don't know what his animation is going to be, but we're going to assume that he's just going to have like a bopping head and his hand goes back and forth like he's doing like he's doing the DJ or something. But yeah, honestly, looks pretty cool. The green eyes do work well on this one as well. And I love all the detail. Next, this might actually be one of my favorites as well here. We have, it just says jump scare, but it's got to be something else. This is from Decorating Fanatics. All these images are from Decorating Fanatics. And I'm not sure if these ones are actually the official names. I do have the official names, which we're going to be going over later. But I'm not sure which official name this one links to. But this is really cool. I think it's another drop down. So from Techie, it's going to be like the drop down Scarecrow. So it's basically the opposite of Mr. Dark. And it also kind of looks like Mr. Dark, except with a lot more detail. And it looks a lot more creepy. And it's also got the top hat. And yeah, this looks very cool. I love how like some of the props, they're doing like a old-timey, like Victorian era animatronics and stuff. Like, just if you look at them, the way they're being dressed, I think it looks really, really cool. And this guy definitely looks pretty creepy as well. Next we have the animated Stirring Witch, and it cannot be like there will never be a year in the Halloween industry where there won't be one of these generic pot stirring witches, either from Costco or Home Depot or Lowe's, of course. And now this one honestly doesn't look that bad, just because of the face sculpt. I think the face sculpt looks pretty good. So it's not horrible, but it's very, very generic, and I don't see a lot of people wanting to get this one. But you know, it might have some good animation, but it's likely just going to be stirring and looking up and down and talking. This one, I'm pretty sure, is going to end up being Jemmy as well, because usually Techie doesn't do much witch props. Next we have, now we're on the lists instead of looking at the actual images of the props. But here we have the 12-foot actually no, we have one up here. We have, I don't know how many feet that says, Gassy the Clown. It's either Gassy or Sassy. Both of those sounds really, really weird. I'm hoping it's Gassy. This is probably like more comedic animatronic, I'm guessing. Or it could be a clown wearing a gas mask. That might be cool. Or it's like a clown with gas, which would be really, really weird. I hope it's not that. but it'd be funny either way. Anyway, we got 12-foot Infernal Harbinger. Now, this is another 12-foot, and I don't think this is I'm not sure if this is the 12-foot vampire or not. It might be, because I don't see another 12-foot one here. So either they have two 12-foot animatronics, or the vampire is called the Infernal Harbinger. Which it might be, because, he is in flames, so Infernal Harbinger does work for that. But yeah, pretty cool name. Next, we have the 9-foot Poisonous Pumpkin. They have a lot of humongous props this year. 9 feet is not small. But Poisonous Pumpkin, I'm guessing this might be like the pop-up pumpkin that we got from Party City a couple years back. Something like that, because I think that was also 9 feet tall. But I hope this is something different, a bit more unique. Because Poisonous Pumpkin does look like a really cool name. Anyway, next we have the Life-Size Stay Puft. So, Life-Size Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know how they're doing this life-size, because life-size is actually humongous. I don't know if this is probably going to end up being an inflatable, but that would just be humongous, like absolutely huge. Like, I don't know how tall he's supposed to be in the movie, but life-size, I'm guessing they can't go over much 30 feet, but a 30-foot inflatable Stay Puft Marshmallow Man would be really cool. But I'm guessing it's just going to be like a 6-foot one. That's not an inflatable, so that would be cool too. Anyway, we have a life-size Slimer next, so they've got this Ghostbusters theme going along too here. Life-size Slimer does sound cool. I don't know if it's going to be better than the Halloween costumes one that we got last year. That one was really, really good. That's like the best Ghostbusters animatronic we've ever gotten, I think, personally. I think that one looked really good and had some really good details. But yeah, I'm not sure what that one's going to look like. Well, I know it's going to look like Slimer, but I don't know what quality that one's going to have, or whether it's produced by Jemmy or Techie. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Jemmy, and it's probably not going to be the best. But here, next we have life-size Victor Van Mort. Next we got the two from the Corpse Bride here, Emily and Victor. And then we have Cotton Candy Clown, 7-foot Cotton Candy Clown. And here's another thing that definitely aligns with Spirit Halloween last year, because they had Cotton Candy Dan, so there's not much of a difference in the name there, and it can't be that different in terms of like what it actually is. Also, they're most likely going to they're most likely both made by Techie. This one might be made by Jemmy. Like, honestly, this entire lineup depends on whether the animatronics are going to be mostly manufactured by Jemmy or Techie or some other company. Because if they're mostly manufactured by Jemmy, this year cannot be good. But if it's Techie, this year is going to be insane. But next we have Cornfield Creeper. Now, this is actually a name I drew like a mask idea. I posted it on my YouTube channel almost like a year ago now, and it was named Cornfield Creeper, so that's kind of funny. But Cornfield Creeper, that is a really cool sounding name. I think it would be really cool if they had him like behind corn stalks, and he like peeked out behind corn stalks. I think that would be like really, really interesting, like a good jump scare for sure. But Cornfield Creeper, it's such an awesome name. I really liked it when I thought of that name for my mask idea, because it does sound really good. Next we have 5'5" Ice Cream Clown. This is going to be a clown, but he's going to have a ice cream cone, but instead of ice cream, it's probably going to be an eyeball or something like that. I don't know what else it would be. Maybe an ice cream cone with like eyeballs in it or something. But yeah, that's my guess for what it is. It's also only 5'5", so not a huge prop unlike the other ones. And next we have 6-foot Burlap Scarecrow Clown. Next we have 6-foot Burlap Scarecrow Clown. Now there's like times where you can be unique and it's good, and there can be times when you're like way too unique and it's bad. This is one of those too unique that it's bad. Like, you can't try to make a scarecrow a clown. These are two different concepts that cannot be put together and actually be executed well. So I'm guessing this is going to be a Jenny one. I can't imagine Techie doing that. But if it is, I'd be surprised, and I can't wait to see this one. It's either going to look really, really bad or not good. I don't think it can be good either way. That we have, oh my gosh, we have a bunch more. There are just so many this year. I think there's like 28 or something, quite a bit. So next we have the pop-up goblin. Now this is probably going to be something like the jump-up spider, a mechanism similar to that. I'm not exactly sure, because it could be a lot of different things. It could be like a jumping out of like a sack, or jumping out of a can or something like that, or it could be like really unique, like Home Depot did a pop-up goblin sort of thing a couple years ago, where he had a sack and he had a skeleton in the sack, and the goblin pulled out the skeleton, which is really, really cool and really unique. So something like that would be really cool as well. And you'll start to notice another trend. There's a lot of mythological things in here as well. So the goblin and some more things I'll talk about later. So that's like sort of another trend that they're doing. And I really admire that they're not like focusing, just staying on like the classic Halloween stuff. I mean, they're doing some classic Halloween stuff, but they're also taking it a step further, kind of like how Home Depot did with like THD 3000. They're kind of stepping out of that boundary that a lot of Halloween companies put on themselves. So that is a really, really cool, and I definitely respect that. And now next we have the lunging giant spider. Now we did have a lunging giant spider from Spirit Halloween a while back. It was just a jumping spider that was just larger, so this could be something like that. I don't exactly know what else it could be, so I'm assuming that it's like that. Next we have the Sharpshooter Reaper. Now, I do not know what a sharpshooter is. I have really no clue what this might be. So yeah, very, very confused on that. So yeah, it's obviously a Reaper, but it might have a gun or something. I have no clue. But next we have the Plague Doctor, and we already talked about that earlier. Not the best. Next we have the Emperor of Death. Now that is a cool name. It might be that one I talked about earlier that like drops down. It might be something like that. I'm not quite sure though, but that is a really, really cool name. There's some really cool names in here as well. Like we have Evil Soldier. Now this is probably going to be a soldier or something. Obviously, it might not be like a soldier from like a war with guns and stuff and wearing camo. It could be like that, but it could also be like a soldier from like medieval times or like Victorian era with like a sword or something, and I think that would also be cool. I think that's probably what it might be. But next we have Lurking Zombie. Now we did have a Lurking Zombie from Spirit Halloween. It was Lurching Zombie. It was like a zombie that moves forward and stuff. Now this might be something like that, but it might be something else. I did see this other leak. It was a zombie that kind of has it has one leg and it moves back and forth, and it has this one arm that is like ripped off, but it's rotating for some reason. Now I don't think that's what it is, but it could be something similar. It is a zombie, and I do love zombies. So I wish all these things are coming to Canada, but none of them are, because we don't have Lowes in Canada. So that is really unfortunate for me, but very fortunate for most of my audience, which is in the U.S. But we got Full Moon Mayhem Werewolf. We talked about this earlier. They might be different things, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they're the same. Next we have Haunted Pirate, carrying out that like same, sort of thing that we had from last year, the nautical theme. So that is really cool. It also has a parrot, which is pretty neat. Another one that had a parrot was the one from Home Depot last year. So there's a lot of things that I can connect to past years. But yeah, it might be something like that, but techie. So remember when we had Lethal Lily, and then we had Sea Siren Witch the next year? It might be some sort of case like that where Techie takes like an SVI prop and does their best to like make it better or something, just trying to one-up, because Techie and SVI, they're definitely competing here. Like Techie would never have gone servo if SVI didn't. And also Techie usually doesn't do multiple phrases, but now they're doing multiple phrases on some of their animatronics, probably thanks to SVI. So I really do like the competition. They're always trying to one-up each other, and this might be sort of like that. Next we have Green Ghost. Now when I hear Green Ghost, I definitely think of Slimer. But if this isn't Goosebumps, I'm not sure what it might be. It might just be a green ghost. I'm hoping that instead of just making it green fabric over like nothing, having glow eyes, I hope they do something like actually cool. And we have Bluetooth Ray Reaper or something Reaper. I do not know what that says actually. Maybe Saw Reaper, Say Reaper. I don't know, but it's Bluetooth, so that means it can play songs, which is probably another continuation of the band Reapers, which is cool. Again, we always get at least 2 of those a year since like 2022 or something. So yeah, really, really cool. And lastly, we have 3 more props here. Actually, no, just 2 more props here. We got Servo Cyclops Abduction. Now this is what I put in the thumbnail because it's really neat, but we don't actually have an image of that one. But this sounds so cool. They're doing a Cyclops animatronic, something that's never been done before, and it's servo too. So like, it's got to be techie because Lowes doesn't do much with SVI. I can't recall a single SVI animatronic from Lowes, so it's definitely techie. Doing another servo prop, second servo prop ever from Techie. Their last one, Servo Sea Siren Witch, was amazing. Now this one, it has to be better because Cyclops Abduction. Now I'm guessing it's probably a Cyclops animatronic, and it's got a kid, sort of like some of those SVI ones in the past, like the Boogeyman one that had the kid and Sweet Dreams Clown, something like that. I don't know why it's called Abduction. Otherwise, I mean, that might say something else, but I'm pretty sure it's Abduction. It's pretty blurry, so it's hard to say. But Cyclops, I'm guessing they're just doing the most generic type of Cyclops. The one with, like, the one big eye, like the one I put in the thumbnail. And it might also have a big wooden club as well. But since it's named Abduction, it probably has, like, a kid or something. I hope that it has lots of movements as well, other than just the moving head. I think it'd be cool if like it moved side to side and the kid moved or something. That'd be amazing, but that'd definitely be the first time we see something like that from Techie. But I hope they don't go like too kid-friendly with this one. Like, I feel like it could be really easy to mess up a Cyclops and make it look goofy as opposed to creepy. But if they added blood and stuff, I think that'd be amazing. Next we have Impending Doom Countdown. Now this is another one I am extremely excited for. Like, there are so many amazing props this year just from the names. Now I really hope these aren't let down like Night Terror was for Spirit Halloween, and a lot of them might be because, you know, Jemmy does that a lot. But Impending Doom Countdown, this sounds like so amazing. It's 7 feet tall. I'm guessing this is either a Reaper holding a stopwatch or something like, or like a clock, or it could be like a clock, a Reaper with like a clock head or something that ticks, or what I think might be most likely is actually a grandfather clock that ticks, and then when it goes to like 12, something pops out from the grandfather clock. I think that would be really cool. Maybe a skull comes out or something like that. But anyway, that sounds so good, and it could be super good, but it could also be a letdown like Night Terror. I'm hoping it won't be. But anyway, I'm just so excited for all these props this year. It's just going to be insane. Like last year, when I saw these animatronics come in from Lowes, I was like, how the heck is Home Depot or Spirit Halloween going to come even close to any of these? And, you know, like, I just thought Lowes was going to blow everyone out of the park. And I'm thinking that again this year, too. But since I thought that last year, I mean, it's likely that Home Depot is going to come back with something even better, and that would just be crazy. We're just 3 days into the year here, and I'm already super hyped for Halloween, which is in like over 300 days. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and what are your thoughts on all of these new Lowes 2025 animatronics? I personally think they're insane. But with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Doom out.